Welcome to God Talk. Michael Mack is usually here. We have an amazing fill-in for Michael Mack, Michelle Schou, and we'll be reading poems from my book, Verse to Better, which is in the Harvard Bookstore window. Just look at it there if you want to. And Michelle edited this book, inspired it, and she wanted me to share some of the poems she inspired in some ways. There's many more. But the first one, maybe you can read it. March 27th is our first date. I'm going to cry. It was the best date of my life, by far. You want to read it?
I remember it was a kiss that lasted like 10 days or something crazy.
Used to be 2 weeks.
Oh.
Going, it's fading.
Oh, was it
It's
2 weeks?
losing.
I know it was a lot.
It's losing in time instead of it growing.
It was one kiss that stayed with me so intensely for, I guess it was 2 weeks, if I said 2 weeks.
Yes.
I know it was outrageous long. I couldn't believe how long it was so present with me.
This is how the date
It was-
began. We might not get to the poetry, but so, life is so funny. I met this very, very difficult woman on my birthday, March 1st, who wanted to go to see the ocean. And Tony and I took her to the ocean in Dorchester, and she said, that's not good enough. So, being a good person, when she gets up in the morning, I say, you want to go to the ocean? And we go to Plum Island. You probably didn't know this. And so when I meet you, who live in northern New Hampshire, I'm familiar with Plum Island. And I like things I'm familiar with. It's hard enough to go out on a first date. And so we plan to meet at Plum Island. I tell you where. So my dear friend Michelle, instead of trusting this new man she's going out with, decides to trust her GPS, right? And she's not there. I'm waiting all alone doing my yoga in the parking lot, maybe on the sand. Fortunately, we have cell phones, or we never would have met, maybe ever. I have my cell phone, she calls and I say, and she says, oh, I trusted my GPS. I didn't listen to you. This might not have been a good sign. But eventually she comes. We start to walk on Plum Island.
I almost didn't call you. I forget what the whole thing was. I figured, I was like, how come you're not here?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably would have called, but I felt bad that my cell phone hadn't been on during the whole time I was waiting. So.
I might have called you, yes.
And this was, when I lived in New Hampshire, I never used my cell phone because there wasn't reception there, so it's not like I was used to having my cell phone to use.
So you didn't even have it on. You're just waiting there.
I was just waiting.
Wow, and you're the technological genius in this friendship.
Well, in New Hampshire, I didn't use my cell phone because the reception, you couldn't use.
Yes, I
Use
seldom, as you know, seldom use it.
Right, yeah.
So without cell phone technology, but why did you think not to call?
Well, I couldn't imagine there was any other place to go for Plum Island because I grew up going to Plum Island exactly where I went, which was the state park instead of the beach. So I honestly never thought there could be another place for Plum Island.
Wow, so you thought you were
Yeah.
stood up?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wow. Happened to my brother too and his
Yeah.
now wife. Whoa, it's amazing how life. So then she finally drives in, and we start walking it's a beautiful day. It was like out of Central Casting in Hollywood. It was warm. It was March 27th. It's warm. It doesn't necessarily have to be warm then. The sun.
Yeah, that's true. It was warm.
It wasn't
Yeah.
hot.
Hmm.
Sun is shining like kids make, drawings of a sign in a blue sky.
Yeah.
My leg is hurting a bit. I forget from what.
Yeah.
I'm always hurting this leg. And the old let me help heal your leg trick, and you put it between your legs and massage it. Geez, what's a poor boy to do? And then we start walking, this is my version, by the blue ocean, beautiful white waves splashing, nice warm sun. And I never do this, ever. I'm a shy boy. And I would also be afraid of what I'm getting myself into. And for some reason, maybe it was that you had massaged my foot between your thighs, I want to give you a kiss. I've done that in the past, wanted to, and said, no way, I don't want to kiss someone I don't know, and who knows where it's going to lead. Very seducible with an I knew. Can I give you a kiss? And I might have said, honest person that I am, after one or two kisses, this is as much as I could handle, which was true. So I think we hold hands then as strangers who had almost stood me up and thought I was standing her up. And we aimed to walk to some driftwood. I don't know if you remember this part. And I said, well, let's keep walking. We can go there because my foot is still healing. And we take about one step and we kiss again. This is true. And I again say, wow, this is as much as I can handle. Very romantic. Not trying to be macho, which is great. And we do it again and again and again and again and again. Yes, we really was doing that.
I think so, yeah.
Not talking too much.
Yeah.
Hard to talk. There's a song, you know this song. When I was a young man and never been kissed, right? I got to thinking it over, how much I had missed. So I got me a gal, and I kissed her, and then, oh Lordy, I kissed her once again, 'cause she had kisses sweeter than wine. She had, ooh, 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 sweeter than wine. And the ends with, and now that I'm old and I'm ready to go, I get to thinking what happened a long time ago. I've had a lot of kids, a lot of trouble and pain, but oh Lordy, I'd do it all again, 'cause she had kisses sweeter than wine. She had, ooh, 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 sweeter than wine. So we're still together, in our own way. Spiritual romance. So I wrote this little poem. I guess I should read it first. Co-creators to, in my own condensed way, begin to capture, at least in words, what was way beyond words. Co-creators, stepping on earth, soft-souled, with heart, our souls rebirth, partners in art. And this became true too. co-creators stepping on earth, soft-souled, with heart, our soul's rebirth, partners in art. So I inspired those poems, and you inspired this book, and helped edit it, type it. Fortunately, Michelle was between jobs at one time, and I could pay her very little. We were really sharks in the water. I said, I'll give you 20 an hour to help me do this book. She said, no, 15. So any feelings and thoughts about that story or this poem?
I like it a lot. I think we both have a gentle side that I've always appreciated. So the soft-souled with heart is something that rings true for me.
And souled is our feet, really. The walking,
Yeah.
souled with heart.
Yeah. And you've definitely helped me on my journey so much of the time. And I helped you with your writing and
Oh my, Lord, living.
creating the book, and so I'm so glad that this is on the day that we met, that you have it in the book,
Yeah.
because I really appreciate that. I think it's rings true, and it captures our partnership in that way.
When we lived together, there were two things about Michelle I really had really great trouble handling. You know, some things it's hard to forgive people for. And number one, I don't know how I could tolerate this, you wanted to know me. Ah! Somebody wants to know me even though they're nice, I'm not nice, help. And two, you wanted me to get out of myself and know you. Ah! I'm having trouble being myself. Wow, is that hard? Somehow we managed 3 years of that. Wow, and now thanks to our love for me, I'm able to tell you about my demons. You even wrote me a nice, I think it was a prose poem about when we were walking in the museum with your parents, and I felt like chopping people's head off. You said, well, it was okay to tell you these things now. I was afraid to tell you. And now I, at least for today, don't feel that way. I got up this morning and felt, after our time together in my presence, didn't feel. Well, I did have a dream where I killed 2 flies. Just an improvement of wanting to hurt people. Well, so that's how it began, folks. Co-creators stepping on earth, soft-souled, with heart. At least Michelle's heart.
Well, your heart. Are
Maybe
you
mine
kidding
too.
me?
Oh yes, our soul's rebirth, partners in art. Well, Michelle wanted me to pick out not just any of the other poems in the book that I like, poems inspired by her. Let's get down to it. So I went through many, but here's one. I don't even know what's coming, April 29th. Oh, is this a gift? I'm gonna cry. It's called Who's Here? Home alone. I'm on. Feeling your care through silent air, opening doors. Who's here? Home alone. I'm on, feeling your care through silent air, opening doors. And this was true because you lived in New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire. I lived in Cambridge. So we saw each other only weekends. And when I was alone, I could feel your care. That's why they call you Meta. Feel your care. And that opened so many, I didn't know how many doors inside had to be opened, though. But I felt it in the silence, opening some of my doors. It says in the Jewish mystical tradition, Kabbalah, that there are 1,000 shells around our true nature, and slowly we can get rid of one, and then the next to discover who we are. And guess, I shouldn't say it on the air, but I might unless you stop me. Guess what Michelle's email is?
1,000 shells.
1,000 shells. So, you want to read it once?
Yeah.
And then maybe tell me what you think of this.
Yearning for new ways of learning. Oh, sorry. Who's here? Home alone, I'm odd. Feeling your care through silent air, opening doors. Well, I'm glad I could do that, and I often have felt when I send my love to you that you often get it.
Whoa.
But
Yeah, I've learned. My beloved first wife used to try to love me the way she loved her son. And she saw my wolf eyes. I had wolf eyes then. Said it just doesn't go in. So she had to give up. So you can
well,
see,
I'm honored. I'm glad to be reminded
Yeah,
that that happened, and
you continue to do this.
so I appreciate
Great.
that.
Hope you can take this on TV, but you have the choice to not.
Well, it's nice to remember too the power of love
Wow, so at
to
least.
send to people.
Now, when you left me after 3 years of tolerating me, I don't know why you found it hard to be with someone who didn't want to be known and didn't want to know you. My friend Patrick, he was my dance teacher, said, Michael, when you give yourself to someone, you're not in touch with yourself. You're not grounded, so there's no one to give. And when they want to give to you, you're not grounded, so there's no one to give to. And I said to him, well, other than that, I'm doing fine. So we did endure 3 years.
Yeah.
And when you left me, for many good reasons, I was, of course, very distraught, upset. And then I felt your love. It helped. I lent you my car. You needed the car. It always helps lending cars to people who need cars. And I felt in my despair and sadness, I was crying. I went to Quaker House in a meetup group and just said, I have to eat alone, as if that was so horrible, missing you. We used to we would read entire books, reading together, Becoming Animal, we read it all. Gene Sharp on nonviolent, we read it cover to cover.
Democracy to dictatorship.
Yeah.
Or dictatorship to democracy.
Yes. And then I feel our love or your love when I'm alone. And it's the first time in my life I discover solitude. And that solitude is different than being alone and feeling alone. It felt, well, solitude felt good because I wasn't alone. I could feel your love and our love. And that changed my life. That changed. So your leaving changed my life. Way for the better. That now I didn't need a relationship. I didn't need someone to give me a body because I wasn't in touch with mine. And I could feel my body, my mind, my spirit, and it was okay to be me. And okay to begin to be known, and to know, I started sharing even more who I was. So that was a great gift. This poem, which was written for something else when we were alone, and still together. And it's called Who's Here? Who do I know? Who am I? Home alone. I'm awed, which is different than fear. Right? I just talk about timelessness. Feeling your care. You're the most caring person I've known. Feeling your care through silent air, opening doors. Philip said breaking shells, but doors I thought right with Lord. Who's here one last time? No, you read it one last time, do you mind?
Who's here? Home alone, I'm awed, feeling your care through silent air, opening doors.
I like these. I love your poems, but I can tolerate my short ones.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, we're almost, time flies when you're having fun. What else got 2 stars? May 29th got 2 stars. I read, Michelle wanted me to pick the one, so I was a good boy and read over half my book. Okay. Oh, this is more fun. Want to read it? May 29th.
Okay. For United States, poems from amused lass move a poet from mass to hug and to play, crazed nights and bright days, as long as we ask.
Oh, mine. Because these poems from Michelle Schou, who, if she had time, would be a great poet and artist. I hope you get laid off for a year again. No, you can't wish for that. Take it back, God.
Yep.
I take it back. If it happens. For United States, poems from amused lass move a poet from mass to hug. We would hug, baby. We would, you don't mind me saying this. I would visit, can I say what kind of room you had or not? No, I won't. To see this thing, I'm learning to ask. But we would hug for a weekend. We both needed so much hugging, yes? We just go there, hug, read the Bible, hug. Poems from amused lass move a poet from mass to hug and to play, crazed nights and bright days, as long as we ask. And we cry. Any comments, questions, feelings?
I like your use of crazed nights and bright days.
Because?
'Cause I like that. It did feel like that. It was a honeymoon time.
Yes.
That was really wonderful.
We got pretty crazy. Well, what are our plans for the weekend? Hugging. Easy to remember the agenda. I don't think we planned it that way, but we're having so much fun, but we're running out of time. Any other 2 stars? Just one more. Perfect. Life is perfect.
It's funny,
Michelle.
they're all at the end of the month.
Yeah. 27th.
Yeah.
This is June 27th. See, we plan for these shows. We don't just show up. We want to give you the best we've got. Oh, this is another revealing one. You want to read it for us? Maybe I'm reading them first.
Okay.
Presence, dispense, defense, pretense. It's a big title. Presence, dispense, defense, pretense. When you're far away, I know you're divine, which is true. I'm learning it more and more, however. When you're far away, I know you're divine. When you're here, I pray, I still feel you're fine. It's true at last, it's true. Michelle walks in the other day and says, "Oh, you're seeing me, it's not FaceTime, can you handle it?" It's true. Oh, hooray for FaceTime. You can see someone and look at them and know them for the first time and they're comfortably distant. Want to read it for us?
All right. Presence, dispense, defense, pretense. When you're far away, I know you're divine. When you're here, I pray, I still feel you're fine.
I'm in trouble with that. Really trouble. Well, we're wrapping it up, folks. We're wrapping it up. Thank you for joining us. Michelle Schou's poems and the book she helped inspire, Verse to Better, a poem for each day of our year. You can see it, you can look at it at Harvard Bookstore window, they'll let you see it. Any last feelings, thoughts, comments?
Thanks for co-creating.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And we needed you too. Columbia, Barbara, and others, thanks for co-creating. If you love for our audience too, thanks to you.